What's up, my fellow adult collector? Welcome to Civilian Collectibles. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the brand new Amazon exclusive Marvel Legends Wolverine based on the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie. There had been some legal disputes between Marvel and Fox about the X-Men movie rights that led to some complications. One of these complications was that merchandising rights based on the movies got stripped away, thus why we hadn't seen any related toys in quite some time. But with the Disney buyout of Fox Entertainment, that has been fixed. If this is your first time landing on my channel, hi, my name is Seville, and here I like to discuss action figures and other collectibles based on my favorite movies, TV shows, and video games. If you find this video enjoyable or informative, please give me a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'm going to start this off with a good slow up and down look at both the front and back of Wolverine. At first glance, it does look really good, but it's not without some strange design choices. To be honest, the more I look at the bottom half of the figure, the weirder the jean design gets. However, there are some really good aspects of this figure to discuss, so I'll talk about those first and come back to the jeans later. First things first, the face sculpt. That is definitely Hugh Jackman. I can't say what the Marvel side of Hasbro does that the Power Rangers side doesn't for their civilian heads, but whatever it is, they need to get on the same page, because the Marvel side nails it far more often than not. Moving into the torso, the sculpt gets a little more typical, but still, even the details in the muscle shirt are pretty good. This next part might only be new to me because I haven't bought any Marvel Legends since the Black Widow wave, but this is the first one I've seen that has the pegless arms. Just to make sure you understand what I mean, there are no holes in the elbows where the joints all connect. Now I'll get back to the pants. I get where they were going with this, where they wanted to have that washed out and distressed look, but in my opinion, that's not how it came out. For starters, the base color is way too dark, and the distressed colors should be more like a white and gray combination. Then in some areas, especially when you get around to the backside, I guess they were going to have a wrinkled effect, but it came out less like denim wrinkles and more like tinfoil wrinkles. I personally think they would have been better off leaving it mostly smooth with some sculpted in individual wrinkles, and then of course sculpting in the pocket details and stuff like that. Back on the plus side though, the hair sculpt does have that distinct Wolverine look with it being more wild and pointy. Honestly, the totality of this figure is kind of weird to me because it's almost like the top half is at an entirely different quality level than the bottom half. The only thing I can say I wish they would have added to the arms is maybe some body hair deco, because Wolverine as a character has usually been pretty hairy. In the package, Wolverine starts out with the bone claw hands. Over the years, the claws themselves have been an aspect of Wolverine figures that's been hard to get right. But I think in the case of this figure, they've finally gotten some justice. While these bone claws do look really good, I do believe that the adamantium claws look absolutely perfect. The sculpt is just right, the length is just right, the color is just right. Now, for the elephant in the room, I don't really like this alternative head sculpt. I guess there's something about the angled expression that just throws off the likeness, so I'm going to stick to the more relaxed head sculpt. Now I'll give you a look at the articulation, but most of it is pretty standard for the Marvel Legends. The head has a pretty good range up and down, and of course 4 rotations side to side. The shoulders also have 4 rotation, along with a good range moving outward, plus butterfly joints to add to that front to back motion. The double jointed elbows fold really well, plus the wrists also have 4 rotation as well as a good range of up and down movement. The torso has an ab crunch for good back to forth movement, plus the tornado waist for 4 rotation. The hips have a decent range side to side as well as front to back. The legs do have thigh cut rotation, good double jointed knees, and a ball peg ankle for full pivot motion. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the old Toy Biz X-Men movie figures from back in the day, so I don't have much to compare them to. Plus, since this is the first of the new X-Men movie figures I've gotten, I can't compare to those either. So with that being the case, I'll bring out the MCU Scarlet Witch, because technically she should be a mutant character. And just for the fun of it, here's Captain America, because in the comics they did work together during World War II. Basing the scale on the actors themselves, this is pretty much about right. With all that said though, it's time to run this Marvel Legends Wolverine through my guidelines for a complete and fair review. This is a brand new sculpt that is highly detailed, but due to everything below the waist, is not entirely accurate to this interpretation of the character. The weird design choices and colors could potentially be considered a quality control issue. However, it does have more than 20 points of articulation, it balances really well, and is in scale with other Marvel Legends figures. It did include a few accessories. The price point is a little higher than normal, being set at $25 instead of $20, but I do think that's still fair. And, as of this recording, it is still available for immediate purchase on Amazon, leading my final score to an 8 out of 10 star rating, meaning, no pun intended, it is an excellent figure and a must-own for all fans of the character. So, while this first outing back into Fox's X-Men movie universe isn't perfect, it's still a great start. I can't wait to see what they do beyond this, and if they get around to doing the black leather team suits, I'll be all over it. For now, though, this Wolverine is most definitely worth adding to your collection. While I was in the process of finishing this review, I did manage to snag the Magneto and Xavier 2-pack, so that video will be the next one I make. If you happen to be here after I've already made it, it will be linked in the comment section below this video.